Patrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a...
Hang here, Michael. Michael. You all know the song. They will not control us. They will not force us. They will not degrade us. We will be victorious. This is what you call bipartisanship on radio. We're not competitors. We're in the fight together for conservative values. Michael Berry, KTRH, KSEV. Thank you, Michael. Are we getting ready to sing? All right, you're on cue. They will not force us. They they'll stop degrading us. They will in November control us anymore. And on November 2nd, we will be stand up victorious. It's coming. We can bring down the music. You know, it's a great crowd. I wish there had been 2 more people. We would have more people here than Obama has czars in Washington. We fell a few short. Let me get a picture from my Facebook page. Hold on a second. All right. Remember, that's Dan Patrick. You can find me on Facebook. Glad to have you. Have you noticed driving around you don't see as many Obama stickers on cars? It's a result of the Cash for Clunkers program. There they go. White House didn't think of that, did they? Do you know that Nancy Pelosi, I'm not making this up, Nancy Pelosi has spent as Speaker hundreds of millions of dollars flying on military aircraft back and forth, which as Speaker she has a right to do. And she has spent over $100 million of your and my hard-earned tax money on food and beverage. I'm not making that up. Now, she better enjoy that California Chardonnay and those fancy cashews, because the next time on that military plane she hears the word bailout, it's going to be someone on that plane in uniform that says, "Grab the parachute, Nancy, because you're not Speaker anymore." November 2nd. I want to say something about the military. Guys, the sun was up, and so it's going to be harder to see them. They're not in the light. But there's a group of gentlemen, Gunny, Joe, the whole group, and many of you in this audience. I want every veteran to stand up, and I want all of us to applaud every veteran. Let me tell you something. The world, and Gunny, remember this and you know it, the world is not a safe and stable place. And countries like to criticize us. But when they get their rear end in trouble and they dial 911, they expect the United States Marines, the U.S. Air Force, the U.S. Navy, and the U.S. Army to come and bail them out. And America, no other country, has shed more blood and more of their treasury not to conquer, but to give freedom to people. And it's because of Gunny and all of you here and all of our fine young men and women serving in the military. I was backstage and a gentleman came up to me and he said, "Dan, my name is Joe Canning and I used to listen to you with my son every day." And I said, "Well, you're not listening anymore? What happened?" And he said, "I still listen, but my son was killed in Iraq." And so, Joe, you gave me his wristband. Lance Corporal Wesley Joe Canning, and I will wear it. And then I met another gentleman, Carson George, backstage, whose son, Philip George. One went to Friendswood High, one went to Clear Lake Christian School, and his son was killed in Afghanistan. And Carson said, "The day my son died, defending the liberty of this country so that we could have events like this, he no longer was just our son. He became a son of all of us, dating back to those who have given their lives since 1776. I'm going to be brief because we've had a lot of speakers and we have more to go. I'm looking forward to Andrew Breitbart in a couple of moments and our sign parade and more music. But I want to tell you about the future of this nation. You know, Michael was right. When I ran 4 years ago, it's been a fast 4 years, people said you can't win. He's the radio guy. We got 70% in a four-way race, and they said, well, he won. He was the radio guy. Being the radio guy had nothing to do with it. When I first went out and campaigned, a lot of people said, Dan, I listened to you, but why should I vote for you? And at the end of the day, I didn't win because I was a radio guy or because of me. I won because of the issues. And we didn't call it the Tea Party then. But it was the beginning of the people rising up and looking for someone who will stand for their values. I wear an R as a Republican, but I'm a Christian first. I'm a conservative second. And when the Republican Party no longer stands for those values, I will no longer stand with the Republican Party. You know, everyone says the Tea Party is really a wing of the Republican Party. I can tell you that's not the case. Because the ladies that have started these movements all over the country, and it's been really driven by women primarily, like Julie, like Suzanne, they don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. They care about their kids. They care about their future. They sign the checks and pay the bills, and they know something is amiss, and they're worried. And the mainstream media, and the Democrats, and the president, and many Republicans don't get it. I have told my colleagues in Austin, time and time again recently, if you think, just because you're a Republican, and you're getting the benefit of this Tea Party movement, just simply because the Democrats, there's no way any reasonable thinking American could support a Democrat for office. Just because you get the benefit of that, don't think that this is your job forever. Don't think that when you come back in 2012, if you don't do the job in 2010, that you're not going to have a good Tea Party conservative on the ballot against you. You better get it right. Our nation's at a tipping point. We don't have the luxury of people going to office and not keeping their campaign promises. I have to work with others. In the Texas Senate, there are 31 of us, 19 Republicans, 12 Democrats. It takes 21 votes to bring a bill to the floor, so we always need 2 Democrats. My sonogram bill that would require any abortion doctor to take an ultrasound and show that ultrasound to the woman before the abortion, because I know through crisis pregnancy work that will save lives. We abort 80,000 babies a year in Texas. Can you believe it? 2 Republicans won't support the bill. But I had Democrats who joined me. We can work with others, but we must understand our job is not to go to Washington and Congress, or for me to go to Austin to be in the club and be their friend. My job is to represent the people of Senate District 7 and all the people of Texas. That's my job. And they said, what is Dan going to get done? You know, he's just going to be a renegade up there. Well, what they found out, like all of you, I'm a small business guy. I work hard. And when I say all of you, not everyone owns a business, but you all work for a business. And so I rolled my sleeves up and went to work. And I was able to get things done. We passed the biggest tax cut in America last year, a $172 million tax cut for small business. First thing I passed was putting "In God We Trust" in the Senate chamber. We put "Under God" in the state pledge. And we accomplished those things because I saw a little story in a book. And it was about a legislator in Florida who became speaker. And he was a long shot to become speaker. And people were surprised. And he was elected because he had treated people in a Christian spirit when he was first in office. So I decided as a Christian that I don't leave my Christian values outside the Capitol door or the Senate chamber. So I tell people right up front, I can't support that bill, but I don't do it in a mean-spirited way. I tell other people, I can't be with you on that issue, whether it's a Republican or Democrat, but I treat people with respect, and it always comes back with respect. So we've been able to get things done, but make no mistake, there are two parties in this country, and they have two different ideologies. And the other party is clueless. They don't understand what we're about. Our country is based on two foundations. First, on the Judeo-Christian principles that our laws and our society are based on. But secondly, our country is based on free market principles. This is the only country where you can have a dream. You don't have to come from a family of wealth or a family with any significant name. You can come from any neighborhood. And you can be successful in America because the government used to get out of your way. And today we have a government that says, we're going to tell you what you can dream. We're going to tell you how much you can dream. And we're going to tell you if you accomplish your dream, you're a bad guy because somehow or another you had some benefit in life that others didn't. And instinctively America feels that. And that's what's made our country great. As I look at the world landscape, I know this in my heart. The world, again, is not a safe and stable place. And it's only stable at some level because of the United States of America and Gunny and all these men and women who serve in the military. America must be strong. But America cannot be strong unless Texas is strong. And if you think I'm just saying it because we're in Texas, here's the truth. We have the 9th largest economy in the world. 1 out of every 100 students in America who go to school go to either Dallas Independent School District, Houston Independent School District, or Cy-Fair Independent School District. We have more people in Harris County than 27 states. We have more children in school K through 12 than 18 states. As Texas goes, America will go. Are we going to count on California? Their liberal policies have put that state in a situation where I don't know if they can get out of. Now, I serve on finance, and we're going to have a daunting task this session. We're about $20 billion in the hole because of the Washington economy that's impacted our jobs. But I've made a pledge, and others have made a pledge, we're going to get out of that hole by cutting spending and not raising taxes. And so when I look at the world being a safe and stable place, America must be strong, and we must be strong. So I believe in my heart for Texas to be strong, we must be led by Republicans. But just not any Republican, but by conservative Republicans. The day of the rhino is over. And before I close, I want to touch on 2 last points. Sometimes people will say, Dan, you know, you're a pro-life Republican, you're a conservative guy. You know, and I'm with you, but I can't get into the pro-life deal. You know, we got to separate those issues. And my answer is simply this. I'm not going to judge you or try to persuade you, but here's the truth. The majority of people in the Republican Party stand for life and family values. And we need a big tent, and we need everyone in that tent. But just because you come in the tent, you can't be the ringmaster. The day our country no longer stands for life and family, and the day our party no longer stands for those values, is the day we no longer have a party. We must defend the most vulnerable and the most innocent. We've had 2 great sins in our nation, slavery and abortion. We are still suffering the consequences of the first. And I know 100 years from now, people will look back and say, what were they thinking? So we must face it, confront it, and try to resolve it in a Christian spirit, because that's how we get things done.